Hey, Simply Sugar here with a segment about what's wrong with the Democratic Party. I'm going to use my home state as an example, which is New York State. I live in New York City. I've worked in New York City my entire life, 50 years. I did live in Bergen County for about 18 years, where I raised my daughter, and then I moved back after she went to college. So let's talk about what's wrong with the Democratic Party. This is going to involve Zohran Mamdani, but not in the way you think. This is less about him and more about what's going to take place in November for the general election. So Zohran Mamdani won the primary, and in normal cases and in cases of the past, that would be the end of it. He would be the Democratic nominee going against the Republican nominee. In this case, it's Curtis Sliwa. But you have the likes of Eric Adams, who has a lot of um, legal issues uh, and other issues, in my opinion. And then you have Andrew Cuomo, who also has a lot of legal issues and, other issues. The man is 67 years old. I believe Eric Adams is in his mid to late 50s. I didn't look it up because I don't care to look him up. I just want him gone um, from New York politics. So, in any regard, Andrew Cuomo lost. And instead of saying, listen, New York doesn't want me, they don't want someone, who has these legal issues, I'm going to stay out of it. I lost, right? And he conceded. So, I mean, it did sound like he was going to take a step back and reassess. But this news reports that he's going to run as an independent. So, what's going to happen here? You're going to split the ticket. You're going to split the ticket and let the Republican win. Now, that's not what the people want, but, that's the end goal of these lobbyists. Um, and I'm going to do another series on major lobbying people because it's just not APAC, it's other sources of lobbying money that's infiltrated um, our Democratic Party and our both parties in general. But particularly this, you're going to risk the Democrats losing to push a corporate agenda. Now, the corporate agenda is to either get Andrew Cuomo in or the Republican nominee. We know Republicans love corporations. We see that Donald Trump is trying to, raise the regular people's taxes in order to give tax breaks to the millionaires here. So, hey, for corporation and millionaires, that's a win-win situation because they're going to be protected. Uh, so that's their end goal. So you have these people, right? I won't say nominees because they weren't nominated, running as independents, not only to get in office because it'll help their legal situations, but to split the ticket for these corporations because they're bought and paid for. And this is the problem. This is the poison that AOC, Bernie Sanders, Jasmine Crockett, Zohran Mamdani are talking about. It has no place in our politics because then we get situations like this where the people have spoken. Primaries have always garnered a low turnout. It's not all, 8, 9 million people coming out to vote. It's a portion, it's a segment of that that normally votes and has this turnout. They just don't like, and by they I mean the corporations and people like APAC, uh, lobbying people like APAC don't like the choice because he's not playing their game. And so we're going to have a situation in New York where, even though this is majority Democratic led city, we're going to have somebody lead us like a Curtis Sliwa because the Democratic Party are crabs in a barrel and we're eating our own, not for the good of the people, but for the good of the one percenters and themselves. And that's what's wrong. There are other things wrong, but that is my focus because I live in New York and we have a choice to get somebody in office who's for the people or to get someone who in office who plays ball with the lobbyists and the one percenters. and that ticket's going to get split. Anyway, this is my opinion piece. Again, this is an editorial news channel where I give my opinion. I'm not a straight news person. If you're looking for that, I'm not the person for you. Please like, share, and follow if you can.